Do you know which country has the most extraordinary bridges, like the longest bridges, and the bridge that's standing on the single tower suspension, and a bridge that's 350 meters above the river? You don't know the answer? Well, the country is China. And what are these insane bridges? Join me today where I take you on this insane journey of gods of bridges. So without any delay, let's get into it. First, we have the world's longest bridge, Baoshan Bridge, which is nearly 300 meters tall and has 6 lanes. The deck is much higher, rising 360 meters above the river's actual level and 320 meters above a reservoir. This bridge, which has 6 lanes, is the largest steel truss suspension bridge built in a mountainous region of China. A unique suspension bridge on stilts. The lower leg of the 186.5 meter west tower is 110.7 meters below deck level. Only 6 other suspension bridges in the world in actuality use tower piers that are more than 100 meters above the ground. And China is where the majority of them are located. The 1,112 meter long Baoshan Magnificent Bridge is part of the Guiyang-Huangping Highway. Given that it cuts the distance between Guiyang and Huangping in half, from 5 hours to just 1.2, it is strategically significant to the region's economic growth. It'll also cater to ethnic minorities in places like Qiannan and Qiandongnan prefectures. The southeast Guizhou Prefecture's Guihuang Expressway project starts in Guiyang City's Nanming District and travels via the Wudang District, Longli County, Guiding County, Yukon City, and Huangping County. The Zhuhai Expressway connects the terminal. The main span of the bridge is 650 meters. The 2 major cables, which are the bridge's lifeline, were placed utilizing a groundbreaking technique that was unique to China. These cables each have 36 through-length strands that together weigh more than 46,000 tons. Wires made of high-strength galvanized steel are used. The overall length of the wire would approach 26,000 kilometers if all of the individual steel wires used in the cables were cut loose and linked at the ends. This more than doubles the diameter of the world. The large components didn't need to be carried because the wires could be constructed on the spot. Prior to its opening, engineers stress-tested the Baoshan Bridge by parking 48 enormous loaded trucks totaling 1,680 tons. Next, we have HZMB, or the Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge. Hong Kong, Macau, and Zhuhai are connected by a massive 55-kilometer bridge. Before it was constructed, tourists and visitors going to or from Hong Kong had to board a ship. To create the Greater Bay Area, which consists of Hong Kong, Macau, and 9 other Chinese cities, China developed the enormous bridge. The zone is home to about 70 million people. The HZMB has cut the distance between Zhuhai and Hong Kong's travel time in half, from 4 hours to just 30. A staggering $20 billion was pulled in by the HZMB after it opened to traffic in 2018. According to Chinese officials, it may generate up to $1.44 trillion for the economy, which would be a reasonable return on investment. At least 18 construction workers died during the project's 2-year delay, according to officials. Chinese President Xi Jinping declared it open following 9 years of building. To withstand earthquakes and typhoons, the architects used almost 400,000 tons of steel, enough to build 60 Eiffel Towers. About 30 kilometers of the bridge's overall length span the Pearl River Delta Sea. Ships can travel through a 6.7-kilometer section in the middle that vanishes into an underwater passageway that connects 2 man-made islands. The remaining sections use link motorways, viaducts, and land tunnels to connect Zhuhai and Hong Kong to the main bridge. The government estimates that keeping the bridge in peak condition will cost roughly $30 million per year in maintenance cost. Even though the HZMB is fantastic, not everyone can drive on it. You must first receive special permission, which is given out in accordance with a quota system in order to utilize the bridge. You still need to pay a toll even after getting the precious approval. Since public transportation is not permitted on the bridge, only private shuttle buses will operate the route. Next is the Qishui River Bridge, was the first bridge to stand 350 meters above the river. It became evident that a strong connection between the Guizhou-Zhang-Shiju and Sichuan-Shugu expressways was needed when the Chinese government wished to accelerate economic development in the provinces of Sichuan and Guizhou. The bridge would cost $250 million and cover the width of the Qishui River. Just over 2 kilometers made up the entire distance. A 360-degree contract covering the design, production, and building of the high bridge was given to Sichuan Road and Bridge. They made the worst possible choice of the site. The site's mountainous, meandering terrain posed a challenging topographic problem. The team's ingenuity was put to the test by the geological features on the Sichuan side, which featured a cliff and a maximum elevation of 350 meters. The engineers ran a big risk by working in karst, rocky, and collapse zones. For the roughly 1,200 meters of the bridge, Sichuan picked a design with a double tower and single-span suspension. However, the company claimed it was the most challenging project they had undertaken in decades, as the design became significantly more complex. The crew had to find out how to construct a 158 cable system to support the bridge deck, as well as how to construct the main bridge deck as a truss offside and bring it to the canyon. On the other hand, thanks to modern technology, Sichuan was able to cut back on days of design work and 19 months of construction time. The Qishui River Bridge was finished in late 2019. The business also reduced its budget by approximately $2 million. This was made feasible by their efforts to reduce the amount of earthwork needed and the foundations for the bridge tower by 30%. At least we have the Green Juice Bridge, the first single-span, single-tower suspension bridge in the world. It is the last Chinese wonder bridge in our list. It considerably reduces travel time by connecting the Yunnan cities of Yuxi and Chuxiangyi Autonomous Prefecture. A crucial portion of the 9,000-kilometer Yunnan Highway network and the 190-kilometer Yuchur Expressway may be found at the Green Juice Bridge. Yunnan is connected to several significant national expressways by the Yuchur Expressway, including the Hangzhou-Ruili Expressway and the Guangzhou-Kunming Expressway. Aside from these bridges' enormous expanse, the speedy construction is amazing. The construction of the Green Juice Bridge began in 2019, and it was finished in under 3 years. The Green Bridge is only 798 meters long, so it doesn't set any records, but its engineering prowess is what makes it famous. The bridge, which receives its name from Zhejiang, hovers over that city. Literally, Zhejiang means Green Juice River. The bridge emerges from tunnels that jut out of cliff walls on either side of the valley's V-shaped valley. The Green Juice Bridge is the first single-tower, single-span suspension bridge in history because only one tower supports it. Cables hold the ends in position. This indicates that there aren't any more columns. You could ask what the engineers were thinking when they created the bridge because it appears to be defying gravity in this way. This incredible bridge also holds the title of having the steepest tunnel anchorage in the world, which is tilted at 54 degrees. The fact that the primary supporting features, including the 156-meter-tall high tower, the bridge approach on one side, and the tunnel anchorage on the other end, had to be built directly into extremely steep slopes, complicated the design and construction. The bridge deck and the assembly really differ in height by 320 meters, which is the same as a structure with 100 stories. The Green Juice Bridge stands out even among the intricate Chinese bridges. On March 9th, engineers completed a significant construction step by slotting the final steel box grider into position. The new bridge's speed restriction for drivers is 100 kilometers per hour, but this will simply give them more time to take in the magnificent views from the bridge. Guess China will keep making new records when it comes to bridge building. What are your thoughts about these records that China has set? Do you think any country would be able to break it? And which of these bridges did you find the most fascinating? Don't forget to tell us all in the comments. Do subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.